Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is, I think, episode 135 of my brand new Comics Haul series, where I show you guys all the new books that I pick up at my LCS every week and tell you a little bit about every single issue. So I've got 6 this week, a lot of, like continuations of series that have started recently, but also one new issue from Marvel. I know there's some big releases this week. The new Punisher series came out, some good stuff from DC. I didn't actually grab Punisher just because I'm not sure about the creative team, but I am curious to know what you guys are thinking of that one. If you did pick it up, the new Punisher, character taking on the mantle, I guess. So I'm curious about that one and whether you recommend it or not. But let's just get into my picks of the week here. We've got the first one here, a new series from Marvel. It's Thanos #1. So this, I think, is just going to be like a 4-issue miniseries. It's not ongoing or anything, so it's not going to be quite as huge as some of the Thanos content we've gotten over the last few years, like Donny Cates' run and all that kind of stuff. But this is supposed to introduce a new Illuminati based on the synopsis. Marvel hasn't really been promoting this one too much or anything. I haven't heard very much about it, but I guess it's probably just kind of serving as like testing ground for trying out Thanos as a villain in the Marvel Universe again. He was dead for a long time since the Infinity Wars event, and he got brought back recently. I think it was through the Eternals series that first happened, right? Because he was revealed to be some kind of Eternal that played into his past history. We'll see if they bring that back up here. The Eternals haven't been a part of Marvel for a while since Axe Judgment Day. They've just kind of been off the grid or whatever the case might be. They haven't really been explored recently. We'll see what this does though, but I'm honestly excited to see Thanos as like more of a looming threat, hopefully more of a actual big villain in the Marvel Universe, and it could be leading up to something. Here's that new Illuminati. Hopefully this double page spread isn't spoiling too much, but we'll see about that one. Let me know if you guys are picking this one up in the comments. Next up, though, we've got the second issue of a pretty hyped up Marvel series here. It's Gods #2. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this one. I had personally enjoyed the first issue, but that price point was $10, right? Which is pretty unforgiving to anyone. That's just insane. It's like more than double the price of a regular issue. Even though you got the amount of pages that's kind of reasonable for that price, it was like, I don't know, triple-sized issue or something like that. It just still feels a little bit excessive on Marvel's part, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but going forward they're just going to be charging $5 per issue. It's the same deal with all of Marvel's other brand new series where, they're upping their price point to $5, which it seems like it's just going to be what's going to happen going forward. Not all the series cost that much yet, but they're moving in that direction for any new ones they launch. Looks like we have Doctor Strange involved again in the second issue, but this is just about these new cast of characters that are somehow connected to magic in the Marvel Universe. The first issue really didn't give us too much info like on the group or too many of the characters. He was more just like exploring the relationship between some of the main characters, and it's Jonathan Hickman, right? All the characters are like quirky and interesting and all that kind of stuff. But I honestly felt a lot of them compelling in the first issue, and Valerio Schiti's artwork and the coloring in here is really good. So I'm just curious to see what happens going forward. Pretty large scale, I guess, in terms of world-ending events and stuff like that involving magic. And this pairs pretty nicely with like Doctor Strange and Strange Academy stuff. So the first issue is pretty good. We'll see about that one. Next up, though, an ongoing one that Marvel has been going for a while now. This is Guardians #8. So we have all the Guardians possessed by Grootfall on the cover there, right? And we're still continuing on with that storyline. I'm glad they're taking a long time to really let it harbor in this series and actually draw it out, because just the idea of Groot being like this world-ending virus or whatever, going from planet to planet and turning everyone on it into like different flora is a really crazy idea that they really need to explore for a long time in this. So yeah, I'm glad they're drawing it out. The artwork in this series just keeps getting better and better in my opinion. Kev Walker does it in here. At first I thought his style was like a little bit maybe too much of a cartoony style for my liking. But he's been doing all these crazy double page spreads and stuff, and I feel like the colors work really well also, just to show like this cosmic quadrant of the universe that the Guardians are in right now that they've been trying to protect from Grootfall. And we'll see what happens with this going forward. It seems like the long-term plan for the series right now is just Grootfall, and hopefully eventually they'll get Groot back as their friend and everything. Looks like not too many words in this issue. We'll see about that. I like that one so far. That's a recommendation. Next up, the last one I got from Marvel, though. This is Marvel Unleashed #4. I still haven't read #3, I don't think, so got to get caught up on this one. But this is the last issue of this mini-series. So just 4 issues. I guess basically the idea behind this is just bringing back the Pet Avengers. A little bit more of a modern lineup, though, compared to the original series. The only reason I picked this up is because I was a really big fan of the original couple mini-series that they did with the Pets of the Marvel Universe back then. These days, the cast has more modern characters like Lucky the Pizza Dog, right, and Bats, Doctor Strange's dog and stuff. We've got some original members, though, like Lockjaw and Throg. So yeah, it's just kind of nostalgic for me to buy this one. I don't think it's been at all as good as the original Pet Avengers, but still some cool artwork in here, and I kind of like the dynamic between a few of the characters. But yeah, overall, not like something I'm dying over or anything like that. Not anything that I'd be strongly recommending to anyone. But yeah, if you're a Pet Avengers fan, I guess you'll get a kick out of it. I finished it off, and we'll see how those third and fourth issues are once I get around to reading them. Lastly, though, I've got a couple issues from Image Comics. First one here is Transformers #2. So Daniel Warren Johnson writing and drawing this one. I did a review on the first issue if you guys want to check that one out. And I liked it okay. I just feel like as someone who has no experience with the Transformers, I've only seen like one of the movies, haven't read any of the comics, I don't have any knowledge, right? Just going into this blind, I felt a little bit lost because there were a lot of characters introduced that felt like I was supposed to have some kind of emotional connection or reaction to them showing up on the page, but I just didn't. So this is definitely geared towards people who have already read Transformers stuff. It still does a good job explaining some of the lore behind what I need to know about the Transformers and their Decepticon enemies and the Energon universe in general and stuff. But yeah, it did still feel a little bit geared towards people that already know a lot about this. Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork works really well for this, though, kind of a gritty, more messy style, so he's great at drawing like Autobot transformations and stuff. And yeah, I plan on sticking with this long term if it continues to be pretty good. He's one of my favorite writers and artists, right? So anything he's going to do, I'll pick up, and it's still going to be good, no matter what the IP is, right? Lastly, though, the final Image issue that I picked up this week is not one that I would have expected to grab, but this is Knights #2. So last month, my LCS was able to give out issues of this, the first issue of this series for free to all their people with pull lists at the shop, and I actually really liked it. It's like this kind of blend of different genres. It's a futuristic, kind of like utopian society, I guess, but it also has to do with vampires and ghosts, all kinds of supernatural stuff. Kind of like a simplistic, cartoony art style, but I just got really connected to a lot of the characters in the first issue, and that was enough to compel me to pick up the second one. And yeah, they're just building this universe. It does seem really original. It's very interesting. I don't have too much more to say besides that, but it just has to do with this family of different like monsters and regular people and stuff. Some of them are in bad businesses. I think one of them is like a hitman or something like that. The main character's sister is like the vampire of the town, and it's all set in, I forget where, but some kind of Florida town, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure how long they're planning on going with this one, but yeah, not a bad first issue. So I'll definitely stick with this one for a couple more issues. Those were all 6 of the issues that I picked up this week, though, for New Comic Book Day. Let me know what you guys picked up, though, down in the comment section below. What were your favorites this week if you already read them, or which issues are you looking forward to the most? And yeah, that's about it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button also, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.